How's it going, Rogues Gallery, and welcome to another Gundam card game video here on Red Zone Rogue. Today, we have a big video because we're going to be talking about how you can start playing the Gundam card game in 2026. Essentially what we're doing is we're going to go over all of the current products on the market for the Gundam card game in terms of just cards, and then talk about which ones you should look at, which ones you should go for as a new player or a hopeful player of the Gundam card game. What this isn't is it's not a how to play video. In fact, I would recommend just going and watching the official how to play the Gundam card game video over on the official Gundam card game YouTube channel, or even better, try it for yourself for free with the official Gundam card game teaching mobile app. It's literally free, and it actually has a bunch of the pre-constructed starter decks for you to play against, like a bot essentially. So you can kind of play at your own pace and learn all of the mechanics and the rules. This is kind of like my big suggestion on, like, if you just want to play the game and you're not sure what product you want to buy yet. We're going to talk about that in today's video. Go download the official app, check it out. It's actually really solid. All right, let's get into it and start at, well, starter decks. Let's talk about the starter decks. Are these worth it for you to purchase to get into the Gundam card game? Yes, absolutely. These are all fantastic. And unlike some other TCGs that you might play, these actually contain mechanically unique cards specific to each of these starter decks. So in a lot of regards, if you want to play certain archetypes, then you basically just need to actually get the pre-constructed starter decks, and they tend to have a lot of good value. Another thing I want to note is that if you want a full playset of all the cards that come in these starter decks, you will need 2 of each of these, because a full playset in the Gundam card game is 4 cards, and these will come with 2 of each of the LR, or like the highest rarity cards. So you will need 2 of each of these starter decks to get that full playset. Currently, at the time of this recording, some of these starter decks are much more available and cheaper than others, while some of them are quite expensive and hard to find. So depending on when you're watching this, your mileage may vary. But generally speaking, these are really, really good to buy and to get into, especially if you can find them at MSRP, or if you have like a super cool LGS that are selling them around that cost, or maybe a little bit lower, maybe even like a smidge higher. These are definitely worth it. Next up, we have the Ultimate decks. Now, this is just kind of like a juiced up starter deck that comes with more LRs, as well as just more cards in general. In fact, this particular one came with 3 different colors, and in the Gundam card game, you can build a deck out of 2 colors. So you actually can build 2 different decks out of this specific starter deck precon. That's what makes it the Ultimate deck. It also comes with some dice and some other stuff. If you can find this at MSRP, also, yes, big. I highly recommend this. In fact, I think this is like the best way to get into the Gundam card game if you can find this at a decent price. This is really good. Similar to the regular starter decks, you will need to buy 2 of these if you want to get the full playset of everything, because even this one for the LRs, they only come with 2 of each of them. So overall, this is my #1 recommendation if you kind of wanted to spend a little bit more, whereas the original starter decks are a little bit on the cheaper end of things. Now, you also might be asking yourself, well, what about those Gundam Assemble starter deck kind of things? Well, I would recommend some of them and maybe not some other ones. So let's get into those. All right, so here I have all of the current Gundam Assemble starter deck and or otherwise kits. So these are really good, especially if you are big fans of minis and building minis and painting minis, or you just really want to play the upcoming Gundam Assemble miniature war game. This particular version, as well as these other ones here. So we have this one as well. We have this one, and then lastly, this one. So all 4 of the ones that I just showed, those ones actually contain full starter decks of the first 4 starter decks, and as such, they're extremely hard to find and probably really, really expensive. If you can find them at a good price, hey, yeah, pick it up, especially if you want the minis and you want those starter decks. The starter decks that contained inside, they're the exact same starter decks. So once again, you would still need 2 copies of that starter deck to get a full playset of everything. But more or less, I don't recommend these unless you want the minis as well. I love the minis, and I love, building minis, and I really want to play the Gundam Assemble mini war game. But other than that, if you're not into that kind of stuff, you can kind of skip these and then just go and get the regular starter decks. Now, there's a different kind of Gundam Assemble kit. So we also have these ones. This is the G-Quox one, and we also have the Iron-Blooded Orphans Gundam Assemble kit. Now these do contain Gundam card game cards, but they do not contain pre-constructed starter decks. These just have foil, shiny, alternate art versions of other cards. So for like a beginning player, these do not do anything for you. These do not have like a deck to play with. This is exclusively for someone who either or wants the minis, so to play the Gundam Assemble minigame, or if you want the alternate art cards to kind of spice up your pre-existing Gundam card game decks, or if you're like me, you want them for both. Just make sure that you actually know which one of these you're buying. Once again, one of them comes with starter deck, one of them does not come with a starter deck. It's really important. If you'd like to see my full review of literally every single Gundam card game starter deck, ultimate deck, as well as all of the Gundam Assemble stuff, I have videos of them here on Red Zone Rogue, so just check out the videos on the channel. I'll maybe put a link to our big our Gundam playlist in the description down below. Now you have one final option, and that is, well, booster packs and booster boxes. Do I recommend that you buy booster boxes and booster packs to get into the Gundam card game? Honestly, probably not. This is good if you just have the finance to just drop on and buy a bunch of booster boxes and just open up packs and have a lot of fun and maybe like flesh out your decks or get new cards for your decks. But generally speaking, I would recommend starting with the starter decks, and then if you wanted to get cards to upgrade those starter decks, it's more or less cheaper to just buy singles on the secondary market like TCG Player than just buying booster packs and gambling on the cards, because yeah, these are just random cards in booster packs. But you could also do this if you want. It is an option. I like buying booster packs and booster boxes and opening stuff and getting cool chase cards and having fun with it, but I would not recommend that for a new player. Unless, of course, you're the kind of player who's just like, whatever, I have the money, I'm just going to buy a bunch of boxes. One thing to note, and this is something that I would ask myself if I was looking to get into the Gundam card game, how many boxes do you need to buy of a particular set to get a full playset of all the cards inside at the base rarity, not like the alternate arts or anything like that? I've generally found it's about 6 to 8 boxes to get like a full playset of everything. I personally get 6 boxes of every single Gundam card game set, and that gets me almost everything, and then I just buy the last couple singles that I need. And because, well, I'm just kind of crazy and I want to build every single deck and have all the cards. But once again, I would not recommend that for most people unless you're crazy like me. And that's that. It's pretty simple. I recommend the starter decks. Once again, if you want a full playset of all the cards in the starter decks, you need 2 of each particular starter deck. Hopefully your LGS sells them at a reasonable price, and hopefully as the game progresses, we're able to find them more and more frequently in plentiful numbers at your local game store, or even at big box stores if you don't have a local game store that sells the Gundam card game, though I do highly recommend and suggest supporting and checking out your local game store if they have prices at reasonable, costs. Then we have the ultimate deck. That is my favorite way to get into the game. It is a lot more expensive, but man, that deck is just really, really sweet right out of the box, and I'm looking forward to them doing more ultimate decks and checking those out. And then finally, we have booster packs and singles, which can like help supplement all of your starter decks. Now, if you're not new to TCGs in general, you probably can suspect a lot of this stuff, but I hope that some folks out there who are new to the Gundam card game from the Gundam franchise, or maybe you're like a Gunpla builder like I am, and you're looking to get into the Gundam card game, hopefully this was useful for you. And once again, just check out the free teaching app for the Gundam card game. I use an Android. It's on the App Store. I'm sure you can find it on the Apple Store as well. And once again, I have videos going over and reviewing all of the stuff that I talked about today here on the channel. We already have well over 100 Gundam card game videos and counting. We're going to have more videos that come out. I usually release several Gundam card game videos every single week. So if you're looking forward to checking out any of the new starter decks or the new booster sets, and I think we're going to be doing some little extra mini sets coming up, we're going to have videos on all of that. Generally speaking, by the way, if you're like, oh, what's this mini set? It's just like a booster set that's smaller. I would treat it exactly the same as a regular booster set, right? It's not a great way to get into the game, but it could be a cool way to supplement decks that you already have. All right, so that's going to be the video. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you for being here. Maybe while you're here, like the video, comment, subscribe. I appreciate you. Maybe hype the video if you have the ability to do so. Either way, thank you so much for watching, and hopefully, see you next time.